Hi, I'm Real Entertainment, and this is my Cartoon Classics Amiga 500 Plus. It just arrived today. I'm quite delighted with it actually. I'm quite surprised to see the box as well, originally intact. I'm going to spin it over for you so you can have a little look. Unfortunately, the games aren't there, so we don't have Lemmings. We don't have Bart Simpson versus Space Mutants. Deluxe Paint 3 isn't there. Nor is, I think is it Captain Planet, Captain Freedom or something similar. But everything else is intact and everything else is there. I'm going to get the A500 out for you very shortly and we can have a little look at it. It's an interesting one. I bought this on a whim. I quite fancied it. I thought I'd give it a go. I'll swap this over. It still has the original inlay as well, so I just thought we'd give a little look at the box as we went along. So this is Bart Simpson, Russian game, and then we got Lemmings, which is an absolute classic, which is a shame it's not on here. And then we've got Deluxe Paint 3, and then it is Captain Planet. I thought it was Captain Freedom, no, it's Captain Planet. So that's the where it was made. Right, okay. So I'm going to flip through the things that came with it in a second. So give me a second, and I'll get my hands free as such, and we'll have a little look. It's for fun. All right. Okay. Without further ado, let's have a little look at what else we've got here. We've got the actual manual with it. I was quite surprised to see this. So this is the Quick Connect manual for the Amiga, including all the instructions on how you get your Amiga set up. I love that. Do you see this? It says monochrome monitor. Brilliant. So I'll just use my hands there. So we got what you get, choosing the location, using your Amiga, caution, electrical things, adding additional equipment, and then if we go for the full layout, we have the sort of where you put the VRAM expansions, and then we got a full diagram. If I zoom out, hopefully you can see that. A full diagram of where things go, from your additional hard drive to your monochrome monitor we saw before, and the RGB monitor, power supply, our printer, modem, floppy drive, speakers, we've got our joystick, and then we've got the old, what they're called is tank mice, because they look a bit like a tank. So, and they got all instructions on how you plug them in from the back there. It's really good. Thought it was quite kind of cool that actually that still existed with this particular thing. So, what else do we get? Right, we got the Amiga Workbench 2 disc, which is missing the guard, as you can see there. It's missing that. We got a selection of public domain software. A good selection of that. So we got a few of those. That includes, this is the shop that actually sold it, Chips. And I think we've got addresses on these. That one's in Hertz, I think. And then we've got more public domain software. And more. And this is one of my favourites here. An Atari ST repurposed as a pirated copy of Mad Bomber 2. I think that's funny. But of course, with pirate software, you need one of them. And of course, with all Amiga software, there's the obligatory pornography. I've kind of amused me that was actually in the box. So, what else have we got? We've got joystick. What brand do we got here on it? Do we have one? 125 Special. I'm not entirely sure why I actually have two cables. In fact, there's two going to the back of it. It's a weird one, that. I'm not entirely sure why that's the case. Maybe if you can put a comment and suggest why it would be the case. I don't understand why you would want two connections. I would assume it was multiple buttons, but that doesn't make much sense to me. Anyway, so what else do we have? Tank mouse, and if you look, oh gosh, look at how yellow that is. That's the original colour on the bottom. It's super yellow on the top there, isn't it? And then we have a composite SCART cable. So that's all the parts that came with it. Now I'm going to bring up the Amiga itself. Now it's an A500, so there's something something you probably all know about the A500, but I'm going to show you anyway. So hang on a second while I get myself prepared. Okay, so now back. This is the actual thing. Now you can see I've already opened it. And look at how yellow this is. I'm going to spend some time sorting this out. I think we're gonna be doing all kinds of these keys, probably even gently boiling them so that we can do it. So wrist strap on, being good. So if we just flip this off, because as I say I've already opened it. Alright, we'll have a little look back here. So apart from a bit of dust on the shield, it's pretty clean. I was quite surprised how clean it was. In fact, everything looks in great working order. So, and this is where the surprise for me came. So, if I just flip over the keyboard, I'm not going to disconnect it, I'm just going to flip it over because I don't need to do anything else to show you what I'm looking at. So we flipped over the keyboard, and I've already loosened and removed the shield So what we'll do is we'll take the shield off, do that gently, and we'll have a little look. Now, the A500, it is often described as having a ticking time bomb within it. Now that ticking time bomb happens to be a little battery inside there. That these things tend to leak kind of badly, and as a bad leaking battery, it's always recommended you take them out. But look at this. This is the actual unit, and it is spotless. There's not a single, there's not a mark, there's no dirt in it or anything. And the battery itself, the questionable item, it's not leaking at all. It's absolutely spotless. There's not a single sign of corrosion or wear at all. Now, the best thing really to do is still remove it, and I suspect that's what I'll be doing. I won't be doing that in this video, but that's what I'll be doing. So, but yeah, I just thought it was nice to share that this was absolutely spotless. And I thought I would also have a little look at various things quickly. So, named after the B-52 song, Rock Lobster, that's the version of it is. And down here we have a RAM, a whole megabyte of it. I also find it amusing to see that the processor names like Fat Agnes there. And we've also got over here, we've got Denise, and we have, where are we? That one's Gary. And I just love the way they named to stop any kind of copying. They code named things after girlfriends. In fact, over here, Mr. There she is. There's Paula. So these things were quite clever at the time. I quite like the fact that they code named it in that way to avoid things. So anyway, that was my a little look at my A500 Plus. I hope you enjoyed. I'm hopefully going to do some videos on the A500 Plus once I find a SCART to HDMI thing so I can record that works with NTSC, because it doesn't, the one I've got. So I've got one on order, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I've been Real Genetic Demon. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully catch you in my next video.